Hey everybody, welcome back to Escape Reality Star Wars Talk. I'm your host Caleb, and it's still happening. He's just so tall.
Yeah.
You should probably introduce yourself though.
Yeah. Hi, I'm Seth. I talk Star Wars with this man. So for those of you who don't know,
There's
because
usually
of
two
some
problems.
camera work.
There's usually two problems here. Either you're not in frame enough, or you're too far away from mic, or something, or you're covering the mic with like from your face.
That's not the problem today.
Today you're just too tall, and the camera's cutting your head off a little.
If I sit up straight, it fucks up the whole thing. I probably should have waited a little longer to swear, but oh well.
But damn good posture, I guess.
Yeah.
Hold on, maybe I can manual it. Well, no, because there's not a lot of room I can give it.
Yeah.
Oh, well. I was going to try to adjust the camera.
If I go back to normal.
Yeah. Go ahead and, yeah. But, so normally we like to talk about what we've been up to during the week, but we actually have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
So no real time for our non-Star Wars weekly catch-ups, as with our break, because we took a couple weeks off. One to finish the book, and then one was something. I think I had to do something. I had to do something. I can't remember exactly what all went down that made it to where we didn't do it. But anyways, 2 weeks were off. And so I decided, hey, let's not just talk about Trials of the Jedi. Let's talk about 3 things when we get back. Which thankfully, the other 2 are short comparatively. So like they were probably going to be combined anyways, those 2. But now we just get to cover it all today. And also we have some news because of that. You know, when we take off for a few weeks, news happens.
Yeah.
Except for when I took off for that last break we had. Nothing happened during that one. But first up in the news, we got some Young Jedi Adventures stuff. They are releasing a comic collection on November 18th that will include the free Comic Book Day shorts that we've talked about on the show already. But there's also going to be some new short comics that are exclusive to the collection. So we'll probably read it when it comes out, see what new comics come from it. That's about it, really, in terms of that. Unless you had any thoughts, comments, concerns.
No.
In some sadder news, Admiral Piet's actor, Kenneth Coley, passed away at 87 from a mixture of COVID and pneumonia earlier this month. We weren't able to talk about that when it happened because we were on a break. So, yeah. He'll be missed and unfortunate, but also, hey, he made it to 87. That's still, but we're also losing a lot of original trilogy actors anyways at this point. Like a lot of them are hitting, like, if they were already like in their 30s or 40s when they were in Star Wars, then yeah, like, and I think in his case he was already like 30 something.
Yeah.
And so, and what's really funny is he was only supposed to be in Empire. But then people liked him enough in Empire that they were like, let's bring him back for Return. And then he gets the infamous too late, and then the B-wing flies through his, or the A-wing rather, the A-wing flies through his through the bridge and kills him. I don't know how much of a recollection you have of.
It's been a while.
Yeah. Because it's during the Battle of Endor when they're in space, and we get the... I can actually pull it up. You know what? In honor of the man, we will pull up his character's death scene. Bit morbid, but... in hindsight, but... It's one of those scenes that, like... Because also, the other scene that sticks with you is Empire when he gets promoted. It's the congratulations, Admiral Piet. After he just force-choked the previous guy.
It's like, I'm in charge now. Damn.
Actually, let's do that. Let's do his Empire Strikes Back scene first. Okay, let's see. This is off the top. Like, I just randomly decided to do this, so give me a second, fans of the show, as I fix this, because I was not originally planning to do this. So I didn't have it preset. Desktop audio is not working, so y'all can't hear it. There we go. Let me turn it down a lot so we don't get in trouble. This is after he's already been promoted, I think. Oh, no. This is the previous guy. Wait. Oh, no, this is Piet when he's a general still. Man, it's been so long since... Oh, that's Piet. That's right. It's been forever for me, man. I haven't watched... Yep. There goes Admiral Ozzel. Captain Piet. Yeah, and so, yeah, just straight up murdered him. Stupid ads.
Just over the Zoom call.
Yeah, over the Zoom call goes, all right, well, you're gone. Hey, Piet, congratulations. Let me get his... He has a few scenes in Return of the Jedi, but, like... I think this is... Yeah, no, somebody apparently matched up Battlefront 2 with it? Hold on. Let me see what they did with this. Oh, okay. They just added a scene that at the end of it, but well, so we can watch that up till that point. Okay. Here's his. Excuse me. Death scene. Thank you. Oh, here comes the A-Wing. Too late! And then it crashes down into the... Alright, we'll stop it. Well. Yep, then it crashes into that. Yep! Into the Death Star, too. Alright, and then they show a scene from... Somebody edited this with a scene from Battlefront 2. Because you get the perspective of that battle a little bit with that. Since Battlefront 2's campaign starts with the end of Return of the Jedi.
I see.
Because it starts with the Battle of Endor, and then you go into the contingency plans that Palpatine had. That we talked about with
the posthumous dick move.
Yeah, of hey, let's start killing a bunch of people, including my own home world.
Fuck you! You don't get to have it.
Yeah, if you couldn't protect your emperor, you don't deserve an empire. That's what Palpatine said. Which is not how that works. But also Palpatine's a very, selfish man who wanted to be in charge of everything.
He's a jerk.
Yeah. We're not expecting the guy that George Lucas has said is equivalent to the devil to be a good guy. Shadow, it's the devil. It's me. Sorry, that immediately those skits immediately popped in my head when I said it. Just imagine Palpatine coming up to the shadow. Okay, we got way off topic now.
Yep.
We got one more piece of news. Speaking of Battlefront 2, actually, in gaming news, we have the numbers from May. And turns out the Battlefront 2 movement actually managed to pull the game into being the 12th best-selling game for the month. For May. Obviously, we don't have June's numbers yet, and I imagine it dipped because I didn't hear as much on the movement through June. There were still a lot of people still playing Battlefront 2 in June, but not as heavily as May. May was kind of when everybody was like, play Battlefront 2 now so we can get Battlefront 3. Mm-hmm. So this is a win and a loss, in my opinion. I can explain it if you're not sure what I mean by that.
Oh, I know.
So I say it's a win in that, yes, it got everybody to play Battlefront 2, which is what the movement was doing. The loss is that I don't think it's going to achieve what they want. Because, hey, you just showed EA that a bunch of people are going to buy a... Let's see, 2018 is when Battlefront 2 came out?
Yeah, I think so.
A 7-year-old game? People will buy a 7-year-old game and play it actively. 7 years later... EA's gonna be like, we don't need to make a new game. We just made a ton of money from a game that we didn't do any new updates on, haven't worked on in 5 years, 4 years, because they did some pretty recent updates, but 3 to 4 years ago still. So they don't have to do anything, and they will get money. I think is the lesson they'll take away from this, and it's not going to be, hey, we should make a Battlefront 3. It'd be nice if that was the lesson they got from it, but you just gave them enough money for that to probably not be the lesson. Because where were they placed originally? According to Star Wars Newsnet. Let me pull up the article. Because it said, they were 100-something... when it came to sales in previous months before that. Which is still good, but it's not crazy good, being all of a sudden surged to 12th place. Also double checking myself. 2017, so an 8-year-old game. Correction. Let's see, this is coming from IGN. And the numbers were originally having it be 135th on the monthly best-selling titles charts until that.
Hell of a jump.
Yeah. And that's a game that, for the most part, is still... for a lot of people, depending on what shop you're on, it's still fully priced. I want to say. I know it goes on sale a lot, but let's see. Yeah, on Steam it's looks like it's $39.99. Hold on. Double check. Yeah, it's $39.99 for the Celebration Edition. Mm-hmm. So that's pretty much almost a a hard, fully priced game. That's still cheaper than a lot of games. That's still actually not bad. But, if you're buying it at that price, you're still basically paying full price. Although you're getting a lot of extras because Celebration Edition is their complete edition with all the characters and stuff. Any DLC included, right? Let's see, on Xbox and PlayStation. Well, if you have EA Play, then that works on PC as well. If you have EA Play, then you don't. You only pay $4.99 a month or whatever. It's actually on sale on Xbox right now. It's $4.99 for the standard, $7.99 for, but its normal full price is $39.99. Yeah, so it's actually on sale on Xbox right now. I don't know what it was, if it was during that time. I think there was a sale because Star Wars Day. So probably a lot of people got it on sale then. PlayStation also has it on sale right now. $4.99 for standard. Celebration Edition is not on sale on PlayStation though, so you're paying that full $39.99 if you're getting the whole game. But it's also been for free at some points on PlayStation Plus. It's also been free at some point on the Epic Store. So for PC, that's how I have it on PCs. I got it through the Epic Store for free because I was like, oh, Epic Games is giving it for free. I've already got it on PlayStation. I guess I'll get it on PC, which is good because Matt and a few others played on PC. And I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, so I mean, oh, there's a price history check. Thank you. Oh well. Anyways, yeah. So I mean, even if you're buying it at $3.99, that's still going from 135th to 12th.
Is a lot.
Is a lot. Like that's still. Who knows how much in the? I'm gonna say probably at least a few thousand, almost a million, probably. That builds up. Once again, it depends on if you're paying full price or if you like. It depends what the price range was, but that's still probably enough for EA to be like, we don't gotta do anything. At least in my mind. Yeah, and then of course Okay, so on June 22nd, according to Star Wars Newsnet, so the number peaked at just over 35,000 players on Steam still, and on June 29th, it was still remaining at 33,000. So June was also still pretty good, so I guess next month we'll find out what the June numbers were.
Yep.
And see if that, if it stayed steady like that. Because if it did, once again, I think the lesson for EA is we don't got to do anything. We got a bestseller on our hands almost a decade later. Imagine, like... Any game company would be happy for their random, almost 10-year-old game to just randomly be selling like hotcakes. Like, this is a win for the studio, like, in terms of that. And I think also DICE and Respawn are just not interested right now in working on another Battlefront. Maybe. I've heard mixed stuff here and there about DICE, where DICE is like, yeah, we do, but also, I don't know. And then Respawn is busy finishing up the third Jedi game, as well as helping do because Respawn is kind of just stuck in being we're the cutscene guys for other game companies, because they're working with Bitspawn or whatever, Bit Reactor? Yeah, Bit Reactor, on that, other Star Wars game, Zero Company, because they're doing the cutscenes for that. Because Respawn is the cutscenes guy. Like, if you want your good cutscenes in your video games, I mean, because that's what they did for Battlefront 2, and then they got to do their Jedi games, and then I think they even did the cutscenes for Squadrons. If I remember correctly. But also those are also most of those games. I mean, those were all EA games. So I mean, and so that put them under it. But I think they still offered to work with Bit Reactor, who's independent. I think still. I don't think anybody has them. I'm double checking my claim about Respawn and Squadrons. No, Respawn was actually not involved with Squadrons. Okay. Motive did all of it. Cool. Which I like Squadrons. Squadrons is a game that deserves a little bit more love. Let's do a Squadrons 2 movement. Let's get Squadrons 2 going. Let's get everybody to play Squadrons. That would make Chase so happy if everybody just started. Everybody just start playing Squadrons. We also need it's a single player game, but I still think we need our Outlaws too, because I actually like Outlaws and it's a good game. Did we ever talk about the last DLC? The Hondo one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I know we didn't make it a full episode, but I was trying to remember if you had watched the cutscenes and then...
Oh, no. Sorry. We talked about it, and we were like, oh, we'll do that some other time, and then proceeded to never do it.
Oh, okay. We'll have to put that on. It'll be a bonus conversation. We already got so much to talk about today. We don't have time to add that today. And plus, I'm pretty sure you haven't watched all the cutscenes yet.
No, I have not.
So, because that's what he does whenever like games come out. He's like, I'm just going to watch the cutscene so I know the story.
Yep.
And plus, you've had your hands on Outlaws already, so you know how it kind of plays. Although there are some quality of life updates that make the game a little bit more functional, like being able to shoot from your speeder. You know, things that should have been there day one. Anyways, with all that, let's jump right into today's topics. With first, the High Republic Trials of the Jedi. Spoilers ahead for everything we're talking about from here going forward, because we are just going to get into it, because now this book is almost a month old, so we can, I think, we're covered. So much happens in this book. Charles, you gave a amazing takeoff with Light of the Jedi for this entire High Republic project, and I think you landed the ship just as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's like my non-spoiler like opinion for any like if you like the High Republic and you're wondering if they landed the plane. They landed the plane. It is a perfect, not quite a perfect landing, but it's damn near close to perfect landing. Like I already trusted Charles Soule going into this because he did some of the best Vader runs comic wise, but like, I guess now we'll kind of just talk about the actual events.
Yeah.
Rip. Buckets of blood.
Yeah.
He became Buckets of Blood.
Yes, he is in fact no longer with the Jedi Order.
Yeah. So much happens in this book.
Yeah, a lot does happen.
And I'm glad they kind of put it into like three, like he puts it into like three or four. Like it's four because he does it by like.
Yep.
He sets it by like the sun and times of day. If I remember correctly, it's like by times of day or something like that.
It's by like rainfall conditions.
Oh yeah, rainfall conditions. That's right. Yes. And so, like, it's like 4 sections.
Mm-hmm.
And the first section is kind of like the setup and like very very Fellowship of the Ring. In the first, like, well, we get the first chapter starts off with we got to get a jump scare and we got to have all the crazy bad stuff happen first. People dying from the blight.
Yep.
And also
the interludes between like what the Jedi are doing.
Just seeing the everyday people.
Yeah.
Deal with the blight and be like, what do we do? Run away.
Like, well, I guess we can't go that way, and our parents are dead. Fuck. But don't worry,
also,
everything works out.
A bit of zombie condition with the blight too, as well. Yeah, it gets bad. But so like the whole galaxy's dealing with that. Lena So's doing her best and is like, I need to decide if I'm gonna agree to this deal that Markion made with me in the last adult novel or not.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, we are also dealing with the fact that the Jedi have been capturing the Nameless and have been not quite, well, they've been trying to study them, but also they've just put them under the temple.
Mm-hmm.
Which, damn it, Jedi, stop putting the evil things under the temple. This isn't going to go well for you. I know you can't predict the future perfectly, but I can tell you, it's not gonna go well.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, and so like, yeah, we get our Fellowship of the Ring moment, specifically like the oh, what's the word I'm trying to remember, because I'm not as strong in Lord of the Rings. I really like Lord of the Rings, but not as strong, so I'm losing terms here.
Do you remember what happens from what you're trying to?
Rivendell. That's the Rivendell scene where they're all around the ring, except here they're around like the metal they found that's like, oh, this is resistant to like the nameless like force, what they do in the force, right?
Yeah.
As well as just talking about other like what everything they need to get, so like the different stones and like, oh, these rods are what's controlling the name, like finally putting the pieces together from both phase 1 and 2, thanks to the research from our boy Wreath and Aslan.
I can pain you to say that one, huh?
But like, and of course, so we get our little moment where everybody's like, all right, this is our Fellowship of the Ring, except we call it our Luminous 9, and then, which is also a group of 9.
Yep.
I saw what you did there. I immediately called it as, oh, this is Fellowship of the Ring. Like, I listened to it, and then I immediately was like, hey, Seth, this is just Fellowship of the Ring starting off.
Yeah.
And so...
Oh.
Yeah, so they get... So, our Luminous include Wreath, who has to test the armor, because they basically make full armor out of it, which we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
It's that early image that we saw of the 9 where they have the masks and almost look like temple guards.
Yeah.
Outfit. It's kind of a mix of like temple guards and like the Clone Wars era Jedi armor.
Yeah.
And so like specifically like the Genndy Tartakovsky Clone Wars armor, like the Obi-Wan, like from that the 2D Clone Wars cartoon. But like we get that, and so Wreath has to test it, because they're like, we don't know if it actually works, and we've only made one set. We don't want to waste this metal if it turns out we need to do some more testing to make it work.
Yep.
And Wreath's like, well, I volunteer as tribute.
Because I fucking found it.
And Comac Vitus is like, oh, hell no. And he's like, I'm an adult. I can make my own decisions.
Yeah.
And Wreath immediately... Well, no, not immediately. At first it works.
It's like, oh, the armor works.
The problem is when you start to try to call out to the Nameless on purpose.
By the way, Wreath doesn't tell anyone he's going to do this. He just goes for it.
He's like, well, it's working, so maybe I should try to call out to them.
And immediately gets knocked the fuck out.
Nap time.
Yep.
And Comac goes up to the 2 Jedi scientists that put it together and like, what the hell were you thinking letting this kid do this? And they're like, he chose to do this. What do you mean? Like, also, he's a Jedi Knight. He's not some youngling.
Yeah.
And like Wreath is kind of in and out of the moment, but he's like, and like apparently somebody's like, he's not dead, so
it did work.
And Wreath finally gets up and is like, no, it worked entirely, because the scientists were like, damn it, we're gonna have to start all over. And Wreath's like, no, we're good, it works, just don't ever try to call out to the Nameless, because it doesn't work if you try to connect to them.
If you use your Bluetooth to connect to the Nameless, you get an automatic disconnection.
Yeah. And at least it's not from life, just from being awake.
Yeah.
And so they're like, all right, well, let's get our Luminous 9 going. Let's get Wreath, Avar, Elzar, Ty, Buryaga, why did my brain just slip?
Buckets.
Torben Buck, yeah. I was going to use his actual name. And then, I'm saving you-know-who for last, but, Tarek.
Yep.
Yeah, Sarek's the one that gets left behind. I like him. Why am I blanking on his name? And he has a really good arc in this book, too.
Buryaga?
I already said Buryaga.
Buryaga's there. Okay. We've got Avar, Elzar, Indira. Not Indira. Indira's not.
No, she's one of the ones. Well, she's in the book, but she's left behind. Because she's one of the ones that stays behind.
Belle,
that's who.
Belle.
Yeah, that's the brain. That I like Belle so much. Why did I freeze on it? But Belle, and then the one that everybody sighed at, Aslan Rail.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, can we trust him? And Reed's like, it's okay. He's getting better. He's recovering. He's a recovering alcoholic, okay? And they're like, yeah, but should we bring the recovering alcoholic to where all the alcohol is?
It's like, you got a better idea?
Because really, because Reed's argument is like, yes, we're going to a very force-strong planet because we're going to the Nameless homeworld. Because basically the plan is bring all the Nameless back to the Nameless homeworld and then see if that does something, as well as kind of just see if maybe they can find other clues as to what's making the blight at what it is. But they're hoping that, the big thing is we can bring the Nameless back to their homeworld and maybe that will fix some of it.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, but he wants to mess with the Nameless in the Force. And it's like, it's okay. Because he and I are the only ones who understand what's going on with the Nameless. And they're like, all right, well, you're responsible. And he was like, I already knew that. And they're like, okay, but if you don't deal with him, we will kill him.
We'll do it.
So that's how that goes.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Buryaga is trying to get Belle to calm down a bit because Belle's like, if we find fucking Markion,
I'm gonna get it.
I'm gonna kill him.
And Buryaga's over here like,
that's not what we
not what we do. Could you rein it in a little?
We don't go for revenge. And Belle's like, it's not revenge, it's justice. Like, he goes full Batman.
Yeah.
Justice! Bella's like, I'm gonna get him.
For the Republic. And Loden.
And
all these other people.
And Indira, even though she's alive, like, she's still got some of the pain from it, because let's not forget.
She's in a wheelchair.
Yeah. And so, we get a lot of, and so, like, that's really, like, part one of the book. And then the end of part one and the start of part two is basically the actual battle of Iriadu kind of ramping up and...
yes.
We now know who started the battle.
Yep. So essentially, one night, Joss and Pika are, like, going through a routine of theirs, which is apparently Joss will be a little too loud, and Pika will yell at him to go and do anything else.
Like, just get out of the house.
Yeah.
You're too loud. So he goes to the bar.
So he goes to the bar, and he and the bartender are talking. And at a certain point, he's like,
well, because they're talking about, like, the dislike of the, like, the fact... Because Iriaduans are very, like, independent, kind of war criminally inclined. Very much an offensive like group that like to have their own space.
Yeah.
The Nihil do not allow for that.
Yep. I think at one point one Nihil is like, why are we here fighting and trying to like essentially perform a planetary siege against people who were born with a knife in their teeth? One of the Nihil is like realizing how shit of an idea that is mid-battle.
Yeah. Because like, yeah, because basically Joss just kind of picks at that a little. To the point that the bartender's like, hey, I know what you're doing. I'm kind of offended that you're doing that. But I agree.
Yeah.
But stop picking at it.
Joss is like, what if I didn't?
And the bartender's like, well, pulls out shotgun, shoots Nihil.
And then that is the starting. And there...
Because the Nihil are just sitting at a table with their drinks, like, just being there, being annoying by just being in there. Like, not really, they're not actually actively doing anything. Their presence alone is annoying. And the bartender's like, he walks over to them, and the Nihil's like, hey, you gonna bring me another drink? He's like, how about this?
And the funniest bit, right, is that this causes an all-out war in the streets. Meanwhile, both the Nihil commanders, the Ariaduans...
Yeah, because even the Tarkans are like, wait a minute, we didn't call for this yet.
And, like, the RDC guys who are there, everyone is like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, because the RDC and the Tarkans were working together behind the scenes to kind of, like, they're waiting for the right time, which is what Joss and the bartender are talking about. The bartender's like, we're just waiting on the word. And Joss is like, well, what if I am the word?
What if the word is here and now? What if the words are right here, right now?
And then the Nihil are just waiting until they get attacked, essentially.
Yeah.
Like, the Nihil are like, we're not going to be the ones that start this. And so, like you said, the Nihil command's like, what the fuck? We were expecting this from the Tarkans or the RDC higher command.
Yeah.
What happened here? And then the Tarkans and the RDC are like, I don't know, we didn't do it. But it doesn't stop them from fighting.
No, they're like, I guess that was the signal. And everyone just starts scrapping.
And so, now with all that in mind, I'm just like, so that's the missing context.
So that's who started the Battle of Ariadu.
I love you, Joss, but maybe, I don't know. I don't know if this was good or bad. I actually don't know.
It was probably gonna happen anyway.
Yeah, it was gonna happen anyway, but, like, I don't know if he needed to jumpstart it. I don't know. Because, honestly, if it started later, like, even if you gave it a week, then Markion would have been already captured by then. Because I'd say this book takes place over the course of, like, maybe 2 weeks.
Maybe, yeah. If that.
And so, because everything kind of happens fast in this. I will say I was wrong about something. I said that I thought the Battle of Ariadu was going to be more like the Battle of Endor. No, it's the Battle of Jakku.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I think this is the Battle of Endor, and we're going to get our Battle of Jakku in Trials of the Jedi. Well, hey, the Battle of Ariadu is our Battle of Jakku. We didn't really get a Battle of Endor. We kind of just jumped to the Jakku and to there. Because, like, all forces come to Ariadu. Like, the only one who doesn't is Markion, and that's because he's busy going, I'm going to Planet X.
Yep. So I can
fuck with the Nameless, because I have now come to the wrong conclusion. I have all of the right answers, but the wrong conclusion. Which is, the Blight is the Nameless fault, which he is kind of right on. Kind of. he's got the right information that the Nameless are a cause of the blight. Like, the Nameless not being on their homeworld is the cause of this. But where he gets the wrong solution is, so I gotta kill the Nameless. It's like, wait, Markion, you have... your math equation is correct. You've got 2 plus 2. How'd you get to 10? Like, you're not even close. How'd you get to 10? And the worst part is he doesn't give any of this information to the Republic.
Nope.
And he gets mad that Lena So doesn't trust him. He's like, why doesn't Lena So trust me to make a deal with me? Because she says no, ultimately. Because
Elzar at the last second...
Well, it's not even fully Elzar. Like, Elzar did...
that.
Like Lena So had a moment to where she was gonna say no anyways, but Elzar basically helped confirm that it should be no. Because Elzar... From, like, the video call and with him... And she's like, I'm probably going to say no anyways, because she was thinking about it. Because she's like, is it she goes through probably the most thoughtful thing a Supreme Chancellor in Star Wars has ever done, which is like, am I being selfish? If I say no to this, am I bad for wanting to say no to this just because of who this man is? Or am I doing the right thing for the betterment of everybody by saying no? Like, she went through a whole, like... thought process of like, am I a good Supreme Chancellor?
Mm-hmm.
And I argue she's probably the best Supreme Chancellor we've ever seen in Star Wars.
Yep.
No hate to Mon Mothma. She tries in the New Republic era, but like, I think Lena So still has her beat a little bit.
Yeah.
Mainly because Lena So actually comes out on top of her crisis. Mon Mothma, you kind of do nothing about the First Order crisis.
Yep.
Your policies actually kind of created the First Order crisis.
Yeah, and then there's Valorum. We don't need to go over that.
Yeah, Valorum.
Palpatine doesn't
need an explanation. And that's about it. Well, I mean, we know about Malo and Greylark too.
Yeah.
Which I think together they aren't that bad.
Yeah.
When they start to kind of do their own thing, it becomes a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But when they're working together, they're effective.
Yep.
And actually, it's an argument for more co-Supreme Chancellors, honestly. And that, but yeah, not as good as Lena So, honestly.
I think the other thing that happens that's very beneficial for Lena So is, for the most part, she can actually trust the people
around
her to get things done.
Like, she has a good cabinet and a good Jedi that's like liaison that's trying to help.
Yep.
Even with the Stellan years, like Stellan was doing a pretty good job as liaison and then Elzar became liaison, and he kind of stepped up too.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, they're good at their job, and so, yeah, it helps that she had smart people around her. And so, I really...
Not that Greylark and Malo didn't. It's just that was a little bit more back when the Jedi are like, we are not...
When they were even more independent from... Yeah. Like... I think this is the good balance of the Jedi being willing to work with them, but also still be their own, independent. Like, we're not going to take orders from you. You can request things from us, and we might do them, but we're not going to be forced to do anything for you. But yeah, and so, yeah, she says no. And Markion goes crying to Gira, going, why doesn't she trust me?
And Gira's like, have you considered you are a mass-murdering lunatic?
Have you considered that you
and a liar?
I was going to say, have you considered that you're just a what's the word? Where you can't help but do it. Where you...
Compulsive?
Yeah, that you're just a compulsive liar. Have you thought about that? And Markion's like, no. Meanwhile, in his head, yeah.
Like, yeah.
In fact, I'm lying to you now.
Mm-hmm.
And Gara's also thinking, I'm also lying to you now.
Yeah.
I love that we get both of their thoughts during that bit. Like, at first it was confusing for me that we were getting both, because usually when you're in the same section of a chapter, you don't get two inner monologues.
Here's a benefit to me reading. Those are 2 separate chapters.
Well, they were 2 separate... I mean, yeah, they were 2 separate chapters, but, like, they were kind of like, boom.
Mm-hmm. So for me, the distinction is a lot easier to make.
But it's supposed to be... because it's supposed to be happening almost simultaneously, yeah. And so, yeah. And so, like, they're having, like, bedroom talk about, like... What a weird bedroom talk, by the way. Of just, like, I'm a liar. Yes, you are. Do you trust me? Yes. No. Do you trust me? Yes. No.
Internal and external dialogue, yes. Internal thought, absolutely not.
For both of them. Like, that's both of their, like...
Kira beforehand is like, alright.
Kira's like...
Who am I dealing with?
Kira's like, it also doesn't help that he's so hot. That's also her internal monologue. Like, he's so fucking hot.
And Markion's like, God damn it, I'm bored. Fuck.
Markion's like, why am I still with her?
Markion, why did I agree to this?
Awful, awful, awful bed talk.
Yep.
I hate it. Thanks, I hate it. But it also really gets into the depths of these characters, which is good, because at least for one of them, for sure, it's like the last time we'll see them.
Mm-hmm.
Unless, for some reason, they decide to do something with them after this, but unlikely.
I highly doubt it.
The way they set up that ending, no.
Though...
Which we'll get to.
Yep.
And so... So let's jump, I guess, to the Battle of Iriadu, since we kind of are, because and once again, that's why Lena so like doesn't accept the deal, and why Markion, I think, is super dumb, because once again he doesn't trust them to give the information, yet then is bitching about them not trusting him. Mm-hmm. It's like, you're the problem. But yeah, the Battle of Iriadu goes on, which gets some great resolution for things that I have been complaining about since Phase 2. Our favorite character. Or, as you said, or were you talking about No, you were talking about him when you were saying, like, your favorite old man or whatever.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah, he's back. The Blade of Bardata.
Woo! Porter Engle.
Yep, Porter Engle.
Oh, he's back.
And he's back with a vengeance.
Yeah. The funniest thing is because, for the most part, the Battle of Iriadu is happening, like, within the planet's orbit.
Yeah.
To the point of where Porter's like, you know what? Even though my gun doesn't work, I bet I could probably just throw my lightsaber at them.
Yeah. And so, like, this resolves a big thing that we've been holding on to since Book 2, where we were like, so what happened to Visa? What happened?
What happened to Vice or Porter?
And Porter, yeah.
Vice and Porter, well, they lived.
Yeah, but because we kept hearing about how Vice was still around controlling the Battle of Iriadu during the High Republic Adventures comics, and we were like, well, where is she? Because the last we heard about her was that the Blade, that Porter Engle and her got into a fight, and then maybe they both died, maybe they didn't, is what we last heard.
No, as it turns out, she's on her 3rd ship, playing dice with her crew and trying to think about how she's gonna write a fucking book for mercenary work in Star Wars.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Porter's been tracking her down.
Yep.
Because he has heard that she likely knows where his sister is.
Yep.
And so we get one of the most epic, like, don't mess with this Jedi moments in a while, which is now being compared to a specific one in Jedi Survivor that's why that scene has become popular again from Jedi Survivor.
I see.
because a lot of people are comparing. People are like, Cal Kestis is the Porter Engle of.
You know what? Yeah, I'd buy that.
You see Cal Kestis coming, and you're a standard stormtrooper. You know.
Fuck, just hand me my own gun. I'll do it for you, man.
Um,
I'll save you the trouble.
but there's a specific. I mean, we talked Jedi Survivor, so it's not.
Yeah.
The when Cal goes dark side the first time in Jedi Survivor moment. That scene is getting compared to this scene, and so that's why people are like, "Oh, Cal is the Porter of the original trilogy era," which was not a lot of competition for that spot.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's still a good 100 Jedi alive, but like not a lot of them have been
Not a lot of them are going
actively against
are quite the one-man army that Cal almost is.
which is, we've talked about how the Jedi games are basically, while they're Souls-like in terms of they can be that difficult, they are still very much a power fantasy. Mm-hmm. They're a Jedi power fantasy where you get to live the idea of, I'm a strong, powerful Jedi who can kill a bunch of stormtroopers and even take down Sith or dark side users. Sorry, they are not Sith technically. It's the technicals. We were talking about that.
Technicalities where I'm like, this is some legal bullshit, and we all know it.
Yeah. At least as far as Inquisitors are concerned, it's definitely a big loophole where it's like, okay, now you're just. Hey, we'll get.
See, before they were just assassins. Now they're Inquisitors. When are you gonna stop fucking lying?
Yeah.
I'm shaky.
And so, yeah, anyways, Porter gets onto Vice's ship to immediately just go, or Vice's, General Vice is how it's audiobook. General Vice's ship, and basically, which also she has the same naming convention as a certain Ex Nihil. By the way, turned mercenary for the Republic. Because doesn't she name her ship also the Vice or whatever? Like
something like that.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, so you just name it after yourself. Got it. We know what type of person you are.
Yep.
But yeah, no. So he crash lands into the ship essentially, into their hangar, and then gets into their like radio, the ship's intercom, and goes, "Hey, I'm giving y'all one warning. I ain't trying to kill any of you except for your general. You stay out of my way, then we're good. If you get in the way, you die. That's it."
That's it. I'm only saying this once.
And then he hangs up, and he's like, oh, and he's also like, and if you don't believe that I mean this, just look at how she reacts to me being on your intercom and telling you this now. And everybody looks at her immediately. Like, the book is like, yeah, everybody looks at her, and she's like, well, fuck. Essentially. And so everybody decides, well, we're just going to get... Because at first he did have to kill a few people to get to the intercom. But once he gets to the intercom, they're like, okay, we're going to stay out of the way. There's like maybe one or two that get in the way after.
Oh.
There's specifically one that gets in the way after. But because everybody else is like, all right, we're going to...
No. I want to clarify something. So the guys, when he first shows up, right? Mm-hmm. They do attack him. Except for, eventually, he's like, you know what? Fuck this. How about I just put some starship fuel on you and point out, he's like, alright, here's the deal.
You shoot at me, but I'm going to reflect it, and you're going to blow up.
And you will burn to death.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, that kind of sucks. How about I don't do that?
And so
then the intercom thing happens.
So yes.
So none of those guys die.
No. So nobody died. Yeah. So everybody's like, all right, well, we're gonna do like middle school playground thing of, oh, we're gonna get to watch a fight after school.
Yeah.
And so everybody circles around.
I guess also in middle school, depending on where you were from and whether or not they allowed, General Vice and her crew are playing dice games to decide what they're gonna blow up.
Yeah. And so
they're not like tactically doing shit.
So yeah, so Vice goes down to the the hangar essentially, because this is where they all meet essentially from my understanding of like placement of where everybody is. And so we have a few seconds till ad, by the way. And so they go to the hangar. Everybody meets up, and they're like, "All right, time to fight 1-on-1." And then somebody shoots, and
that guy dies.
He just immediately like no second glance. He doesn't even look at the guy. He just deflects it, and the guy dies. And they're like, "He did it." And he's like, "I told y'all."
What did you think was gonna happen?
They're like, "Yeah, but he was his second in command." And it's like, "Yeah, but he still could have not." Anyways, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back. Okay, we're back. We're gonna have to fly through this a little faster because this book is just so good.
Yeah.
Like, I could talk about this book all day, honestly.
So let's speedrun confrontation.
So, yeah,
that's been
so
building for fucking 300 years.
Yeah, so he finally.
Also, is not in the hangar. It's in the control room.
Thank you. Yeah.
That is also a dance floor, because General Weiss likes to dance, I guess.
Hey, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
She needed to add a karaoke bar to it, then it'd be perfect.
So she and her friends can pause and go sing karaoke for an hour before getting back to the main mission.
Yeah. But yeah, so he kicks her ass. At first, it's pretty close, actually, for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But he eventually kicks her ass because he's finally like, you know what? I've been holding on to all this rage and anger for so long, and I've been pretty selfish about it too. Because he's like, the only reason, like, I've been looking for my sister for me, not for her. And he's like, you know what? I've been holding all that, and that's the only reason I've kept you alive all these years. Because, like, I want to find her. But that's pretty damn selfish, actually. And he's like, you know what? I'm just going to kill you.
Yeah. I think the thing that, like, kind of like to prove a point that he probably could have at any time, he just fucking... We don't often actually see Porter use the Force in, like, an attacking way.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that it's described almost makes it seem like a kind of Final Destination moment where Porter just grabs Vice and throws her against the wall with the Force. Now, we've seen other people do this, but rarely does the wall behind them crack.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, this is like a fucking spaceship, presumably made out of, like, durasteel and other things, that is really hard to break. And Porter just is like, I'm fucking done. In addition to that, he uses 2 lightsabers. He's never used 2 lightsabers against Vice before, and to prove a point that he still doesn't need to.
Like, he just, he basically, it's the Princess Bride moment where he's like, I've been fighting left-handed.
Yep. And the only reason I've been fighting you like this is because I still wanted to know where my sister was. But now, I don't need to know that anymore, because it doesn't matter.
Because you know what? I'm in the acceptance stage now.
Yep. And so, Vice is like, wait, let me tell you something. And she's like, she's dead, Porter Engel. And Porter's like, oh.
Okay, well, you can join her.
Okay, cool. Tell her I said hello.
Yeah, tell her hi for me.
I think Vice might be going to a different place.
And so, yeah. Well, that's assuming, heaven, hell concept exists. Like, we know hell kind of exists in Star Wars just because Han's line of, I'll see you in hell in Empire, but, like, I think it exists in a different way. It's, like, it's not, like, it's not in the biblical, like, Christian sense, right?
Yeah.
And so, yeah. But yeah, she's dead now.
Yep.
And basically the rest of the Battle of Yadu goes the way that we see in the comics that we've talked about. And
something I was wrong about, and technically this is happening. This will happen later in the short story. I was wrong. It is an early birth.
Yeah. Was I predicting that or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was disagreeing with you on that.
Yeah. And so, yeah, we get that in the short story, which takes place at the ending part of the Battle of Yadu.
All right.
But we'll talk about that. But back to Trials.
So that happens. We get to see Emmerich. And Emmerich's over here. Like, everyone is doing so much.
Emmerich's doing his best.
Emmerich's doing his best. He's like, I'm a fucking detective, man. I don't know what to do with this shit.
It's kind of a similar conversation that Reith and Comac have before Reith decides to be the lab rat. Where Comac's like, man, this is coming from because Reith is volunteering for all these things. And Comac's like, man, I remember when you used to just want to be in the library. And Reith's like, yeah, me too.
Yeah. I miss the library, said Reith. I'm not gonna get that many chances to go back there. But it's better than what I could.
Yeah. But also, on the other hand, Reith is also like, but at the same time, I honestly don't mind the growth I've had. Yeah. Like, he's like, I actually appreciate that I've been forced out of my shell, and it's been a good thing in the long run.
Yeah.
Poor Vern.
Yeah.
She wants to go to Planet X, and they're like, no, you have the path, but you can just tell us. And Vern's like, okay.
Yeah.
And Elzar has to be like, yeah, I know how that feels. It sucks to want to do something, but you're still doing something important. It's just not what you thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
And Vern's like, okay. So she's part of Team B in case they need...
In case things go wrong for the Luminous Nine.
Yeah, because they make a team B, and it's Vern, Sarret, since Tarek's the one going, and they're separating them so that way they can make use of the fact that they're connected, because they're basically using them. They actually make the joke in the book, because they're like, "Oh, we're being used as radios, essentially." Because who was it? Reith that called it out, or
I don't know.
I can't remember who says it, but one of them is like, "So you're being used as radios."
They're like, yeah.
It's Bell. I think it's Bell who says it, because it's when Tarek wakes up after being knocked the fuck out.
Yeah. Because they crash.
Yeah, because they crash. They crash on Planet X because the whole, the thing that we learned about in the comics, the little whatever you want to call it, radiation sphere around the planet.
Man, is it
that ever... Barnabas Vim, which we get payoff of that, by the way. We get payoff of Barnabas Vim, because we were like, so what happens to Barnabas? And they're like, we'll never know.
He ends up on Planet X and presumably stays there until he
dies.
But
like we never the whole point is like, oh well, did he ever find what he did? Yes, apparently, but we never. I wonder if Barnabas ever figured out the truth about the Nameless.
Maybe he did, maybe he didn't.
I figure he's smart enough to have figured it out. Like, to have... Because it's not even if you're smart enough, it's if you're willing to listen. Which is why Avar and Elzar are the ones that kind of figure it out. Reith also kind of puts two and two together eventually. But that's because he's a smart cookie. He's a good boy. He's smart. Let's just jump to Planet X stuff, because that's where the book really picks up.
Markion blows up his own ship, and that's why the storm wall is gone.
Yeah, he blows up the electric gaze. Or gaze electric, gaze electric. Oh man, that ship is gone! Oh no! Said every High Republic fan who knew that ship is just full of evil. Starting with the first row to have it. Actually, starting with the mother, because the mother had it first.
Yep.
I love how we were both like, ugh.
I just remember that there were some enforcer droids on it, and the only other person that was on it before Markion came to Planet X, he killed by poisoning him and watching him die so he could have something to entertain him. Because that's what Markion does. He kills things when he's bored. Which is why he goes and attempts to commit, quote...
what they charge him with at the end of the book. Genocide on a
unprecedented scale of, how about I kill the entire galaxy?
Well, hey, we don't get payoff for the second genocide attempt that we don't see that attempt yet. Which means that he didn't... Aslan Rail didn't do it to get rid of Markion.
No.
Which makes me now wonder, why did Aslan do it? Who was he trying to kill?
Well, I mean, spoilers, since this...
because...
Markion isn't dead at the end of this book.
That's true. So maybe Aslan does still want to kill Markion with it.
Yeah.
But Markion's not a problem anymore.
Yeah.
Markion kind of hits the lowest of lows of ever by the end of this book.
I remember, because I got finished with this book a little bit before
me, yeah.
I was like, there's some stuff I want to tell him, but I'm also like, I have to wait until he finishes
Yeah, because we were talking about it one week, and you were like, because I was teaching you the Star Wars card game, and we were hanging out, and you were like, so... Your words were, it's not what I would have wanted, but it's good enough.
Yeah.
Of a fate. And I kind of agree. Like, it honestly, I think it's the perfect fate for him in terms of compared to what he did and, like, why he does it. Because he does these things for, let's be real, attention. I think he craves the attention. Like you said, he gets bored, and so he does these things. It's attention, and it's both attention and just also a little bit of just not psychotic tendencies, but sociopathic. I'd say he goes as far as that. I'd say he's like beyond psychotic. He is sociopathic. And he's a fictional character, so I think it's fine to kind of like therapize him and kind of try to read him. Versus if it was a real person, I wouldn't be comfortable with that. But since he's a fictional character, I would definitely say he leans towards sociopathic tendencies over psychotic. At least in my reading of him.
I think for me, the thing about me is I'm like, oh, I know what you are from like because I've read a lot of books.
Yeah.
All right. I'm like I have read stories where people have come to the conclusion of, yeah, the universe needs to die, but the reasonings behind them are typically wildly different. Markion is in a case of the universe needs to die because I want absolute control over it, and by doing that I make sure I have absolute control of it forever,
which is really weird. It's a really conflicting ideology he has too, because he wants all this control, yet he also likes chaos, and he's this supposed anarchist, but you can't be an anarchist while controlling everything.
Yeah.
Which is his biggest, like, that's his biggest internal conflict, is that he wants both, and you can't have both. You either want anarchy or you want control. But yeah, because there's a similar character in Star Wars who's in Legends, and you already know probably where I'm going to go, who kind of comes to the same conclusion of, well, actually, they don't believe that the galaxy should die. They think the Force should.
Yeah.
But the end result would be galaxy dying.
Yeah. We know that now, but at the time, we didn't, because different writers and different interpretations.
Well, no, we kind of knew that the Force is in everything, and therefore...
Yeah, but now we have a hard confirmation of what happens.
Yeah. Darth Treya, a.k.a. Kreia from Knights of the Republic 2. Any fans who try to tell you that her ideology makes sense is lying to you. Because she is also very similar to Markion. She has very conflicting ideology. And that's my thing, is you have this ideology, and it's great that you have an ideology, because ideologies can be good. They can be very useful for navigating life. But when you have an ideology that conflicts with itself, that might not be the right ideology for you. You might want to look again.
Yeah.
But man, when they find Markion, because they crash land, and they've managed to find Markion as well as some Nameless, and this is when Markion has come to the conclusion of the Nameless must die, and they're like, well, hey, we just brought a bunch of Nameless back to the planet. Everything's gonna be fine. Hey, Markion, you should come with us. And Markion's like, Rod, Nameless, kill each other.
Mm-hmm.
And then they all start to kill each other, as well as the Jedi. Well, attack the Jedi.
Yeah.
They kill Torben.
Yeah, Torben dies.
And then they, I guess they maul Tarek enough to knock him out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's in critical condition. He's not dead, but he's not looking great. And then on top of that, Aslan also kind of goes mad.
Aslan's like, now would be a good time to have a hit of the dark side.
Yeah, now's the time to go crazy.
And he kills 3 Nameless.
Which makes him go even crazier.
Yep.
And because it kind of fuels his dark side stuff. And then he just runs off into the woods.
Yep.
And then Reetha's like, no, wait, come back.
Ah, fuck, okay.
And Reetha's like, well, I guess I gotta chase him. And Ty's like, I guess I gotta chase both of them. And then, Avar and Elzar also get separated somehow. I'm trying to remember how they get separated.
Avar and Elzar, like, once all the Nameless have kind of, like, gotten everything. Everything's been sorted into people are splitting up to do different
Oh,
things.
yeah, because, okay, they get split up because while they're dealing with the Nameless, Markion runs off as well.
Yeah.
And then Bell chases Markion because vengeance.
Yeah.
Because justice. And then Burryaga's like, well, I guess I gotta chase Bell.
Yeah.
And then Ember also is with Bell. Which, Markion's kick the dog moment.
Yeah.
I hated it. I hated Markion's kick the dog moment.
I'm like... The thing is, I
mean, thankfully, I think Ember's still out, like, alive by the end of it, because they kind of confirm, oh, she's okay. Yeah. But they don't, like... We never acknowledge her presence again after.
Ember is recovering.
Yeah.
She's alive. She just needs to take, like, a month or two.
Because, God... You kind of forget that Markion doesn't have the Force.
Yeah, no, he doesn't. He's just a guy.
He's just a guy. And, like, because, like, when he... Especially... Okay, I'm going to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Trigger warning for anybody who cares about animals and stuff like that, because it's a rough moment in the book. Markion chokes Ember as she's about to, like... breathe fire in his face, and he just like holds her by the neck, and he's actually choking her so that way the fire is shooting like back into her neck. Like I said, trigger warning for because that it almost got me. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, Charles, what are you doing? What are you doing to my baby? Especially sucks because my dog kind of resembles Ember a little bit. Because I'm like, Carrie kind of looks like... Yeah. Because when I saw Ember for the first time, I was like, oh, that's Carrie. Except if, like, Carrie could breathe fire. It's a, what's it, the Pokemon Charhound or whatever. Yeah.
And then Markion...
Tosses
Ember off a cliff because he's like, well, I can't, the only reason he does that is because he's like...
Burryaga and Bell are also
it's not that. It's because he's like, if I stab her, I will get burned.
Oh, yeah.
It's not out of a sense of, I need to Lion King this dog.
Well, it was also due to distract Burryaga.
Yeah.
Because he was like, oh, well, I got a big Wookiee coming at me, too.
Oh, they're a Jedi? Good.
Yeah, he's like, the Grand Inquisitor discussion of Jedi are going to do Jedi things.
Yeah, in order to get them, if you want to beat a Jedi, just let them do Jedi things.
Yeah, so he's like, toss the dog over.
And Burryaga is like, ah, fuck.
I gotta save the dog.
Yep. Which leaves Bell and Markion alone. And Markion just won't stop fucking monologuing.
Well, it's even worse because the lightsaber he decides to use is Loden's.
Hey, guess what I got? And Bell is like, Markion, has anybody ever told you how fucking annoying you are?
Meanwhile, in his head, yeah, my dad. Like he doesn't actually think that, but like I can imagine Markion thinking, yeah, my dad. That's why I killed him.
Bell, you're just so tiresome, Markion.
What a great... I love that conversation between them.
I'm like, yeah, that is the right word for this asshole. I'm
just so tired. It's the if you've ever seen Clue, Madeline Kahn's flames. Like, when you think of Markion, that's all, like, flames. I get so mad.
I'm like, God, you won't shut up, and you keep fucking things up for the rest of us. God damn it. Hi, Pixie. How are you today?
Hi, Pixie. I hope you're enjoying your... Oh, my phone thought I said Bixby, and not Pixie. I hope you're enjoying your time with Zach.
Mm-hmm. And, like... the fight between Bell and Markion, hello Zach, is just one of the ones where it's
such a fight that we were waiting for. Because, like, well, first let's talk about Elzar and Avar, because they kind of go off on their side quest, which is track down the Nameless.
Yes. And they do that, and I remember back in the day, I said,
Back in the day.
I'm from the 40s.
To be fair, this series is now they've gone for 5 years. This is a 5-year project.
Yeah, and we've been
doing it since the start.
Since the start. And I was like, the other week when you came over to my house and we were talking about it, I was like, how do I explain to him that... And I didn't want to be cryptic and shit.
Yeah, but you kind of have to be.
I have
because what happens to Elzar and Avar is...
I was like, how do I explain to him that they're going to be closer than he can imagine and further apart than he will ever know?
Elzar and Avar kind of go through their own version of the Mortis trilogy from Clone Wars in like 3 chapters.
Yep.
And it's just like...
Also, to hell with you, Pixie. I'm younger than all 3 of you.
But yeah, like, how do we get such deep knowledge of the Force in this book, yet no explanation at the same time?
Look, man, that's just how the Force be sometimes. You can't... But
yeah, and so, like...
It does what it wants.
Yeah. So they track the Nameless into this cave, and they kind of, like... Mm-hmm. We'll get back to them, but they do find, like... They start to hear voices...
Which is always a good sign. In Star Wars.
So...
And in real life.
So yeah, the Bell Marchion fight is the shutdown we've been looking for Marchion. Meanwhile, Tarek is taking a dirt nap.
Yeah.
Well, not a dirt nap. He's still alive, but he's napping in the dirt.
Yep. And back on...
Because he was on Buryaga's back, because he started to see 3PO him from Empire Strikes Back for a bit. Because they were originally going to leave him next to the dead Torben Buck on the ship.
It was like, wait, no, he's alive. He's just unconscious.
Well, they were going to leave him there so that way they could go chase Marchion and allow, hopefully, Tarek to be fine. But then Buryaga was like, I'm going to have to follow Bell, aren't I?
Yep.
And so he was like, I can't leave Tarek by himself because we don't want him waking up next to Torben's dead body.
Yeah.
And so he C-3POs him, and then once he has to save Ember, he's already knocked Tarek off of his back and has him in the dirt.
Yep.
And so Bell just plays with Marchion after, because like at first it's revenge, and then eventually like Bell realizes, oh wait, hold on, I need to be calling into the light here, because at first he's getting his ass whooped by Marchion, and it's like, oh, it's because I'm way too angry, and I'm not, like, actually focusing on, like, what I should be here. And, like, even Ghost Loden shows up to be like, hey.
What are you doing? Come on, man, focus up.
Because there are moments where Bell's like, I'm just gonna give up. And Ghost Loden's like, nah, get your bitch ass up. This isn't the person I trained. It's essentially, essentially the speech he gives him. He's like, stop being a little bitch, get up.
Come on, up you get.
It's Rocky. He's like, come on, you gotta get up.
And like, eventually Bell does win, but...
And it's great too, because he just picks the fuck up out of Marchion, grabs him with the Force, and it's just like, hey, we're done. I'm just gonna hold you like a child until you stop.
Yeah.
And eventually Marchion just passes out.
Yeah. From
pure rage. Not even from like Bell isn't choking him or anything. He's just holding him. Yeah. And Marchion kind of just, like a toddler, tires himself out in the process. I think is the best way of explaining how this went down.
Several of Marchion's own bones break during that.
Yeah, they do, because he picks him up pretty harshly.
Yeah.
But, like, Marchion wouldn't have passed out if he wasn't still, like, just flailing about like a toddler with a tantrum. But that's kind of the stage of Marchion's evil that we're at now. We're at the, oh, you're just sad now. You're not scary anymore. We're at the, oh, this is actually pathetic.
I don't know, man. I think I'm just at a point where I'm like, I'm done. I don't care.
Like, he's not scary anymore. He's just pathetic. Which is probably the biggest, like, harsh thing you could tell him. Because he thinks he's still scary, too.
Oh, he's so tiresome.
And I love how much that dug into Markion. Markion's like, no, I'm not.
It's like... It's the most accurate word for dealing with...
Just the Nihil problem as a whole, but Markion especially.
Mm.
Like, man, we've dealt with you for 6 adult novels. Just as many young adult novels, just as many junior novels.
I'm done.
Almost double that in comics.
Yeah.
And 6 volumes of manga.
Alright, you've been enough of a problem, okay? We're done.
Yeah. And so...
I'm exhausted from this man.
So they basically have him finally on capture mode.
Yeah.
He does try to escape once, but it doesn't quite work.
Yeah.
Buryaga, because basically Elzar and Avar and Elzar doesn't regroup with them. Elzar regroups with them to tell them what he finds out, which we'll come back to. For now, let's jump to Aslan, Wreath, and Ty.
Yeah.
And their whole discovery, which is basically, oh shit, they kind of figure out the thing that Elzar and Avar find out at the same time, which is the Nameless. So basically, we're going to reveal the thing that Elzar and Avar find while in the cave. The Nameless are the ones talking to them. That's the voice they're hearing. The Nameless, because the Nameless are actually a sentient species of alien.
Which makes all the shit that's happened to them worse.
But it also weirdly makes sense. Like, would I have predicted this? No. Do the clues line up to where this is actually something that if you go back and reread, you can find the clues to that? Absolutely. The reason that they were killing the Jedi wasn't really a active thing. It's just what they're biologically meant to do with the Force.
Yeah.
As we learn. In that the Nameless... There are good and bad Nameless. Quote unquote. We're not... there are light and dark. That's better. Because I wouldn't say good or bad. Like, I wouldn't say it's a good or bad nature thing. It's they are light and dark. Because they go... There are some of us that are light, some of us that are dark. And we balance each other out.
Yeah.
And we consume the light. The dark ones consume the light. The light ones consume the dark. And it's like, that's how we keep the balance on our world. And
since we kind of evolved around a Force Virgins.
Yeah, because the planet is a Virgins.
That's literally what their biology is programmed to do. They don't exactly have a choice in the matter.
Yeah. And so they go... And also, there are, like, the big thing that Elzar, Avar, Wreath, Ty, and Aslan find shit ton of eggs.
Yeah.
Shit ton of nameless eggs. And the reason for that is it turns out the nameless biology doesn't work on a normal, like, sexual reproductive level. It works on a, when one dies, an egg pops up.
Yeah. A lot of them have died.
From the Jedi and all that, killing them. An unintentional genocide.
Yeah.
And so, because of that unintentional genocide of the Nameless, as well as just the Nameless also being taken off their home planet, that is what's causing the blight. Because the light ones are supposed to consume the blight, like, they're supposed to deal with the blight. But they can't when they keep dying.
Yeah.
And then with them also being taken off their homeworld, you have brought their disease, the blight, to other worlds. And so that's kind of the explanation of the blight. So actually, that is why Markion's answer is like completely off the mark of kill the Nameless. No, you need the Nameless because they're the ones who fixed the Blight.
Yep. Oh, God.
But yeah, so Elzar and Avar find out from the basically the chieftain, the leader of the Nameless, whatever you want to call them, because they never really give us like an honorific. Mm-hmm. They just go, "I'm the leader of it," and so, but what they learn is that it's too late.
Yeah.
There's no way that they could repopulate fast enough to fix any of this, even with all the eggs. Like at this point, there's just too many of them have died, and so they learn that there's a technique that can allow for strong individuals to basically kind of fix the balance over time and kind of rebalance it and reshift it.
Because Elzar does what Elzar does, which is, what if I did this dangerous thing that no one else would try to do anyway?
Yeah. And it involves dipping into the dark side a little.
Which Elzar is used to doing at this point.
Yeah.
And I guess it's a good thing too, otherwise everyone in the
otherwise
galaxy
this would
be
not
dead.
Yeah, otherwise this would not work.
Yep.
So basically he finds out about this and goes, "Hey, so we could solve your problem. Avar, the problem for us is that you and I would have to stay here forever."
Mm-hmm.
And Avar, being Avar, goes, "Well, if that's what I have to do to save people, then yes."
Mm-hmm.
And then Elzar presents the other issue, and he's like, "Yeah, so you know how we always wanted to just be together, and, well, we'll be at the same place, but we can never truly interact. Because the light and dark, one of us has to be the light, one of us has to be the dark, and we can never truly interact. Otherwise, we disrupt this."
Mm-hmm.
And so Elzar has to go explain, "Hey, we're gonna go meet up with the rest," and are like, "Hey, so y'all are leaving without us."
Yep. Also, this information has to die with you guys.
Yeah, that's the other thing, because they talk to the Nameless, and the Nameless are like, "Hey, but you can't let anybody know about our world, because we have to have time to heal."
Mm-hmm.
And so, so Elzar and Avar obviously agree to that, because they're like, "Yeah, we can't have this again."
Yep.
And so, so they explain, "Hey, don't bring this information back when y'all go back."
Yeah.
Well, Elzar does, because once again, Avar's busy finishing, setting up for that ritual that they got to do. Because I don't think Avar meets up with them. I think it's just Elzar.
Mm-hmm. It's just Elzar.
Yeah. They don't, Ty and Wreath never capture Aslan. He kind of...
Aslan escapes after helping them, bring as much balance back as they can.
Yeah. He does find Barnabas Vem's lightsaber.
Mm-hmm. And he does what we all probably figured he was going to do.
And so he escapes the planet as in the epilogue, but we'll talk about I assume a lot of this is almost simultaneous what's going on, because we get Team B showing up because Tarek let Sarek know on the radio, "Hey, our ship crashed, you're gonna have to come pick us up."
Yeah.
And since thankfully Vern's there, she can navigate y'all through the storm without crashing.
Yep.
Because they were like, "What if we crash?" And Vern's like, "I got this." And then,
ironically, Vern, who has crashed the most ships out of anyone.
I love, though, that they're like, "She's not piloting, is she?" And Terry's like, no, she... And they're like, "Oh, okay, good."
Oh, thank God. I was about to say, wait a minute. Isn't Vern banned from, getting new ships by, the quartermaster?
Yeah.
Because he keeps giving her his ships and she keeps fucking crashing them.
But and so...
We need Vern insurance at the Jedi Order.
Yeah, so we basically get to the wrap-up of everything. Markion gets put on trial for everything. Gets, 30 charges on him.
Yep.
Is found guilty of all of them. Wait, no, I think he gets off of one. I think one of them he doesn't.
I think one, but he's got like
But it's like
47 other ones.
Yeah, but it's like
so it doesn't matter.
And the one he gets off of is like a technicality situation where it's like, oh well, like only because we don't have enough evidence.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, the one I think they only have the one that I feel like they don't have the most evidence of is the one that he's convicted of the hardest, and it's because and Gira kind of brings up the only reason he's guilty of that is because the Jedi say so, is the genocide of
genocide on an unprecedented scale.
Yeah, because like they're like, well, we can't act like everybody's like we can't actually prove that
we can't put you on. We don't have enough evidence to put you on trial for the attempted murder of all of existence.
But the Jedi say you tried, so good enough. And so...
Which is a wild thing to be convicted of.
I do like, and I thought it was a cool like throwback to Tales of the Jedi comic, not show, Legends content. As well as to Knights of the Republic comic. Him being put on trial in the Senate chambers. Because that is, for the most part, unprecedented.
Yeah.
And in Star Wars as a whole, that has only happened twice. Mm-hmm. That I know of. There might be other situations that I don't I'd have to re-look at, but that's only happened twice in all of Star Wars outside of this, and never in canon. First one being Exar Kun and Ulic Keldroma. Technically, they were both put on trial at the same time in the Tales of the Jedi comic, which ended with Exar Kun killing his master in front of the Senate and the galaxy on live television, essentially. Because Ulic was on trial, but Exar Kun showed up and like used the Force to like stun everybody while him and his master fought. And then the other time is in Knights of the Republic when Demigol is put on trial for all of his war criminal charges. With Malik, of all people, who is still Squint, aka Alec at the time, being the one yelling at him. To be fair, he made Malik go bald.
Truly a worse crime than ever was.
I mean, he had very voluptuous black hair beforehand. Until he got tested on to see how the Force works. Mm-hmm. Anyways, but
meanwhile, Gira's watching the trial.
Yeah, Gira's watching the trial of Markion. No, I just thought it was interesting because, like, it's not the only thing they mentioned that's Legends. There's a name that they mentioned. I know, I'm taking us off topic and we have, two more things to talk about. But you can continue while I'm looking this up.
Yeah, Gira is like, well... There went the Nihil Empire.
Yeah, I don't know why she thought putting her eggs in one basket like that was gonna work.
But maybe I can go and I can at least say hello to my daughter.
Who has faked her death.
Yep. And she's like, I was able to survive, but I've lost everything. And I'm like, yeah, you did, didn't you?
But then she manages to recover a little bit by not being put on the Star Wars equivalent of the Nuremberg trials, as I joked on our way here. Mm-hmm. Because literally all the Nihil are like, I was just following orders. And Gira basically gets away with not even being put on trial by
political leveraging and selling Nihil tech
to a very new group. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but they're called the Trade Federation. They're like this new organization that exists.
Yep.
Apparently there's some, apparently they like are shipping company, Never heard of them. They're new. I don't think anything's going to come up about them ever again, though. Oh, Odin That's the other one. That's the other Tales of the Jedi throwback. That's one that you should have recognized, because I think that's a name I threw into our Tales of the Jedi game. I can't remember. No, because one of you was a replacement for that character. That's right. But yeah, Odin is in Legends the Jedi who kind of, alongside with his master, kind of came up with Jedi battle meditation.
Okay.
And so in Legends, they're kind of the forebearers of that technique. And it's only, he didn't even really create it. Odin was a Wreath. He was a library boy who then his master went, hey, you need to go do things out in the galaxy. And so he read about the technique and then put it into practice, which popularized it. And then, of course, you have people like Bastila Shan who use it later because of Odin making it popular. But that's Legends, not canon. But Odin he's been referenced in canon now. I think also his master has been... Yeah, they mentioned the Keldroma epics is canon, so we know... I guess we know that something similar to Tales of the Jedi comics has happened. The specifics are vague. But yeah. Anyways. But yeah, so the Aslan's escaped.
Yep.
He has a lightsaber now, as well as wants to still convince Wreath to join him.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to do the wrap up. Avar and Elzar can never touch. It is the most hopeless romantic ending you could have probably done to these poor Jedi. Damn you, Charles Soule, for hurting everybody who loved them. Which also makes me having my Avar deck in Star Wars Unlimited even... Because I was building that deck as I was listening to the book. And then, pain. Just pain and suffering. We can't have nice things in the High Republic, even when we get the happy ending, finally.
On the other hand, on a physical level, yes, Elvar,
that's their couple name.
God damn it.
No, I think they have an actual AO3 couple name somewhere.
What I was going to say is, while on a physical level, Elzar and Avar are further apart than you could ever imagine, they're a lot closer on a spiritual level.
Yeah. Oh, they don't have a specific ship name. I'm surprised. Internet, Hold on, let me make sure that's true, because that's... Yeah, okay. I'm disappointed in you, Internet. You're supposed to come up with these things. We've had 5 years to do it. Maybe there is one. I'd have to ask other people that do more shipping things, but according to the immediate Google AI answer, they said there is no fan ship name.
Well, I have now shot one into the air. On accident.
Elvar.
God.
Usually ship names, though, are based more on the themes of the characters and less on the names.
Yeah. Meanwhile...
So, yeah, Markion's fate.
How do you like permanent exile?
Yeah, it was really funny because I got to that and then I was like, okay, so since I can send this to Seth because he's already finished it, I think he'll get the reference. And so I sent the Lion King 2 exile gif as so I was like, so about that fate.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets
Fuck you, Markion. You get exactly what you deserve.
He gets the Lion King 2 exile.
Admittedly, even Lena.
Even Lena's kind of like, that might be too harsh, but oh well.
she's like, at the same time, it might not be harsh enough for some
like
people.
it's this balance of, is it harsh, is it too harsh, is it not harsh enough?
I like Lena, the last chapter that we get from Lena's perspective, where she's like, okay, yes, we all kind of understand that I have to keep the lie of the dream of the Republic alive. That's what every chancellor has to do.
It's honestly what every government has to do for their particular system. You kind of have to believe in your own stuff. You got to be able to be like, if I'm gonna sell this, I have to actually believe it.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not I do, that doesn't matter at the end, as long as I can convince myself and then convince people through that. And so, because of that, we get kind of that, yeah. And I love the reflection we get from Markion, and once we're in the exile, and we see he truly like I said, he fed off the attention, which is why the fact that he is alone is the thing that digs at him the most. And not even his Hamlet ghost are coming for him anymore.
Yeah.
He's done with the Hamlet ghost, and he's like, man, they're not even coming after me.
This is a weird experience. I don't think I like it.
Yeah. And so...
This is not normal.
Yeah, so like I was saying, I don't think we'll see him ever again.
Probably not.
But also, who knows? Because an author may decide, hey, let's bring him out for a last hurrah for something that he actually dies from. But he probably will just die alone, which is, I think, a fitting death. Because, like I said, I think he fed off of attention, and so dying alone is probably it's the cruelest thing you could do to him, but it's also potentially the necessary thing to do to him. It's a very weird situation where a cruel and unusual punishment... Well, it's not unusual, but a cruel punishment may be the fitting punishment. And where I had predicted that maybe he died, and maybe he died to a Jedi, which would have fed at the Jedi becoming corrupt. We didn't get that, but I think this is probably the better ending out of that, because I think it keeps our High Republic Jedi clean for now.
Yeah.
Because that would ruin the image of the Jedi that we have of this era a little bit, I think, if one of them had killed him. Which is why Bell doesn't go through with it. Because obviously they could have easily just had Bell do it. And a lot of fans would have felt he was I bet a lot of readers would have thought he was justified in doing it.
Mm-hmm.
But there would also be a lot of readers who would go, that's not the right choice. And so I think Charles and the writing team as a whole, because obviously we're talking about a project that had so many fantastic writers involved, I think they nailed it. And while we still have a few more things coming out that are still to come, this is the end of the High Republic.
Yeah. I'll say one of the moments where I'm like, God, you are still a bastard, Markion, is once they get done with the rap sheet and they give Markion his chance to speak, because fucking proper procedure and everything, he goes, I did all of that shit.
Yeah, which is very funny because some of that he didn't even do.
Yeah.
And
he goes on
because even Garrett goes, you didn't do some of that.
Yeah. And he's like it took all of you to stop me. All of you. I did all that shit on my own, and it took all of you.
Which really shows you what kind of person he is, and why, this is kind of the fitting end for him.
Yeah. And it's God, we cannot have you in the galaxy, man.
You know what? I said it's a near perfect book, but I'm as we talk about it, the fact that we could go another hour talking just about this book, I'm gonna give it a 10.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same.
If I can just be this enthusiastic about one book, that's the sign of a good book. but we can't talk about it for another hour because it's already 3, and we still have 2 more topics. Thankfully, they're shorter, much shorter. Let's jump into the first one. That's kind of still in the High Republic topic.
Yeah.
Tales from the Occlusion Zone: The Will to Fight, which is, I assume we'll get one more Tales from the Occlusion Zone when they do a hard cut, like when they do the hard copy, because they've been doing that for the High Republic short stories. They don't do that for the other short stories, but for the High Republic ones, they've been releasing them in collections. So I assume we'll get one more short story when the collection comes out. So, but for now, we can assume that this is the last story until that happens. But we'll probably get something like with Joss and Adrian, Joss and Pica just getting to finally live their happy life with their child.
Fuck.
That's probably what the last story will be when they do a collection. Because in this one, Pica has the baby early.
Yay.
Because at the start, she has a contraction, and she's like, "Oh, that's just that's a fake that's a fake one."
The baby's just kicking really hard today.
You know, and then she has to go help Epi, however you want to pronounce it. The name who looks like Ebe Cassette, yeah. Whose name looks like a droid's name. Ebe Cassette, niece to Captain Cassette, who died at the start of this entire saga of High Republic.
Yeah.
And so saves them along with Visma, who's also in the middle of the fight. Mm-hmm. Good scene, Visma, and also Tarpfin. And basically, this is just their big last stand of the fight, and we get like what we need. I forget some of the details.
Droid Factory.
Yeah.
The one that you were like, oh man, these...
Yeah, the trap. It's a trap.
The ones that are programmed to be extra vicious.
Yeah. And so they deal with that and save Evie. And, you know, it's the story we kind of needed to just wrap up that little narrative. And then, of pica has the baby.
Yay!
Like I said, not a lot to talk about on these next 2 topics are much quicker. This one the quickest. Jedi Knight, we might have some stuff to talk about because I actually do have some deeper thoughts on that one. But overall for Tales from the Occlusion Zone, I liked it. Narratively, 7.
I'll give it an 8.
Okay.
We're gonna.
Yeah, I was almost 8. It does what it needs. It's here to wrap up some of the stuff, and it doesn't need to be the best of the best.
People finally listen to 6N after he shouts at them.
And so, I'm excited to see the collection and see if maybe I'm correct that they'll do like one more that's just like Joss and Adra finally getting Joss and Pica. Sorry, I keep saying the Adrians. I just want to say the Adrians. I want the Adrians to have their happy ending because like from the start they were like some of my favorite characters. Like, because they were like our first non-Force related characters introduced in the High Republic era because they were in the short stories before the first book even came out. And so I was like, oh, I like this couple. What are we doing with them? And then like they've lasted throughout this entire thing.
Yeah.
And so they went from just, oh, we're the mechanics that help kind of put the finishing touches on Starlight Beacon to some of the most important RDC members. And so, yeah. Jedi Knights. We got to read Volume 1 of Jedi Knights comic, which is also another thing I've been excited to read. Because I'm like, I kind of want some pre-Episode 1 stuff. I want some cool pre-Episode 1. And... because, like, that's kind of a, like, pre-Episode 1, post-High Republic, to be more specific. I want more Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, essentially.
Yeah.
And we get that.
Yeah.
We get, actually, a mix of all the Jedi. We're about to have another break, but we'll kind of just push through anyways.
Yeah.
Since this is the last topic. So, the first issue, we start off with pretty much the Jedi Council.
Yeah.
And Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon and like 3 new Jedi.
Yeah.
That I've never heard of. Sira, what was I forget the guy's name. And then hold on. I had the names earlier. Um, pulling it up. Got the list here. Vecna.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one begins with a... Is it No. Barum. Barum, Sira, and Vecna. They're the new three. With Sira and Barum being newly knighted.
Yeah.
Vecna, I had to double check because I made a comment in Discord, then I wasn't sure about it. That's why I deleted it.
Yeah.
But I am going to double down on it now. As I was reading the comics, Vecna, I already know the voice actor who could play Jennifer Hale.
Okay.
Vecna's kind of the buffer, like... She's the one that helps Yoda in...
Okay, yep.
She's there for the Xerexy stuff. In
issue
two.
The one where I was like, hey man, are you ready for the aliens?
Yeah.
You ready for these knockoff xenomorphs?
And so, so issue 1, though, is them trying to deal with this crisis between two planets. And this Valorum rolls eyes. Valorum has sent them to deal with it. And of course, because we're in a post-High Republic era of Jedi, the Jedi don't look at both sides of the argument before jumping into it.
No.
And so they jump into this crisis only to realize, oh, actually, we may have joined the wrong side. Because while Qui-Gon and Barum try to do negotiating with the leader of the attack, what they think is the aggressor, which Barum is annoying to me, by the way.
Oh, yeah, the fact that he just...
Because he made the negotiations go way sour way too fast. Like, Barum just goes...
Fucking speedrun diplomatic failure.
Yeah. And you can tell Qui-Gon's annoyed with it too, but he's not, like, Qui-Gon being Qui-Gon, he's not gonna call it, like, he's gonna just, like, I'm gonna just let this kid make his mistakes.
Yep. Qui-Gon is pulling an older brother thing of, like, well, I'm not gonna warn you because I shouldn't have had to, and I'm not gonna stop you from the consequences of this because I shouldn't have had to.
Yeah, and then Qui-Gon gives him a quote that he then steals and impresses Yoda with. And Qui-Gon's like, yeah, okay.
What was it? God damn it. It's very important. It's a good line of thinking to follow.
I can pull it up. Because I got the comic right here. Jedi Knights Volume 1. If it'll load. But we can keep talking while I'm finding it.
So there's that.
I do like Sira. She's still young and trying to learn. Vecna impressed me with issue 2. I like Vecna. Like, the new Jedi are good, except for Barum.
Barum's a little too... Oh, let's just solve this problem now.
Like, bro tries to Jedi mind trick the leader of a planet. Like, hold up.
There we go.
Suspicion is not knowledge, theories are not truth.
Yep.
And so, like...
And then...
Oh, yeah, Qui-Gon gets... As soon as he gives that quote, after the mission failed the diplomatic attempt, some assassin comes at them, and Qui-Gon has to hold him off. And we learn Barum, in his one moment of being aware of things and actually doing a good job as a Jedi, is like... Hey, actually, I noticed that he didn't attack me until I attacked him.
Yeah.
He very specifically was going after you, Qui-Gon.
Yep. So he wants you dead. He doesn't care about me.
I just happened to be there. And so that lines up with the fact that after this mission, Obi-Wan and Yoda is training Obi-Wan a little bit in how to like access visions. Which is weird to me because it kind of defeats the purpose of conversations that we've seen of like, oh, visions are dangerous to the Jedi. Yeah. But I'll let this pass. We'll give it a pass, and it's for the plot. And so Obi-Wan has all these visions, and one of which is that this particular assassin kills Qui-Gon. Issue 2. We get Yoda and Vecna going to this planet to investigate because there are rumors that the leader, by the name of
Athos Prime,
which is Atha Prime is a very interesting character in that it's a character who was brought in from Legends, but an unused Legends concept, because he was designed by the Kenner toys. So you know how the original toys were Kenner, like the company Kenner was the ones doing the toys.
No.
Right? Okay. Original toys back in the when Star Wars first took off, Kenner were the ones who had.
Okay.
And so they did all the toys. And after Return of the Jedi came out, Kenner was like, "Hey, we want to pitch Lucasfilm this idea, because we're going to start developing toys for a new idea of a post-Return of the Jedi story." And so the idea was that Atha Prime was going to become the new baddie, and that they basically designed him. And they went, here's this cool villain, he's going to replace Palpatine, and he's going to be so bad that the New Republic and the like remnants of the Empire have to team up to take him out. And the remnants of the Empire are going to be led by a somehow surviving Grand Moff Tarkin. And so they had to team up to take out Atha Prime. Lucasfilm turned it down and was like, we don't want to do any post of the Return of the Jedi stuff right now. Because they weren't ready to do that. Because this was 83, so this was still before the Thrawn, Heir to the Empire trilogy, which is the 90s. So at the time, they were still not quite doing post Return of the Jedi content.
Yeah.
They were doing during the movies content is what, at the time was most of the content. Mostly during the movies. There weren't really anything... There was no, obviously, prequel stuff, because that's the one era George said we are not touching until...
Yeah.
Because he was like, I want to do movies about that. So he was like, we're not touching that era at all until I do my movies. But yeah, so Atha Prime comes from that. And Mark Guggenheim, the writer of this, was looking through old files and found this character and was like, this is a cool villain. And honestly, yeah. Bring Atha Prime back. Let's go. And I like the design. It's a really cool design, and I like when Yoda cuts through the mask and that. I don't know if that's part of the original Atha Prime design or if that was a new part of it, because obviously they really just took the look and kind of ran with it. Everything else about Atha Prime.
The fact that Atha Prime is able even to hold his own against Yoda for a little bit is impressive.
Yeah. But his plan turns out that he is basically making xenomorphs.
Yep.
Called Zerexi. They're basically just xenomorphs. They're like if xenomorphs met the bat with no the bat who laughs.
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong. It's just I didn't want to remember that.
Yeah, so it's if a xenomorph met the bat who laughs from Batman, and to the point of they also have hide that's lightsaber resistant, and so you have to get him on the underbelly.
Get him in the tum-tum.
Yeah, tum-tum. To the point they had to get all the Jedi they could to finish annihilating these. Because after Atha Prime escapes, they're like, okay, we need to call in backup to kill all these. And then even then, Yoda's like, I'm not sure we got them all. And Vecna's like, well, we got all the ones at least that are on the records and on the planet. Also, they were designed to be able to just kind of asexually reproduce.
Yep.
And even Yoda's like, God, that's terrifying. Let's hope we don't have to see that again. Meanwhile, Mark Guggenheim gives us horror movie ending where we see, oh no, there's a whole new batch of them ready to go.
God damn it.
And I assume that it's like on Aether Prime's ship.
Yeah.
Is like, yeah. And so we get the horror movie ending.
It's just...
Hey, Chaco, I see you there. He's in the YouTube chat. Hey, buddy.
Chaco.
Yeah, we've caught up on so much. We've caught up on Trials. We're talking Jedi Knight comic, which we only read the first 5.
Yep.
I know they're like on issue 7 right now, probably. Mm-hmm. I haven't read any of the. I want to. I haven't read any of the Legacy of Vader comic yet. The Kylo Ren book. But yeah, that was issue 2 of Jedi Knight. Oh, well, one more piece of info from Jedi Knight 2. I think that's when Obi-Wan tells Qui-Gon about his vision.
Yeah. Hey, teacher, you're going to get shanked.
Also, I went into our local library, and my second time making this joke to Seth, I joked that the Jedi library is just the local library. I went to our local library, and I found a picture of the guy.
Yeah.
And a name.
There you go.
And Qui-Gon's like, oh, well, that guy is the guy who attacked me. He's like, yeah, here's his name. Oh. And Qui-Gon's like, I have no idea who this guy is.
I don't know who that is. And it's like, yeah, that makes sense, considering there are, like, billions and trillions of people in the Star Wars galaxy. You're not gonna know everyone.
But also now the question is, why does he want you dead?
Yeah. Why is he so mad?
Issue 3 is kind of the least impressive to me.
Yeah.
It's honestly felt like it's a shorter comic than it probably is. Mm-hmm. Which, because it's just Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon crash land on a planet with giant monsters as they try to save Bail Organa, who also crash landed for the same reason, because giant monster attack ship. It's
a very short, like, this one's not that dark or anything. It's just Jedi Knights fight kaiju to escape, which is exactly what it says on the tin.
Yeah, you get what, if you want Jedi and kaiju,
it has Jedi and kaiju.
And a little bit of sprinkling of Bail Organa.
Yep.
And it also doesn't really progress, I think, the storyline anywhere.
It's just a fun, like, 3-minute break.
Yeah. And so that's issue 3. Issue 4, we then go back to, like, kind of getting back to the plot a bit, and we get Qui-Gon and Shaak Ti working together because Phaedra, who we met in the Han Solo and Chewbacca comics, which makes sense that Mark Guggenheim would bring back his own characters. Yep. She comes back to steal credits from a senator who was actually holding credits for Jabba the Hutt illegally.
Yep.
So she actually stole Jabba the Hutt's money.
Yep.
Which then sends her on a wild escape where she is being chased by Aurra Sing, Zam Wesell, Bane Millar, and Jango Fett.
Which is not a good day for anybody.
For real. If you have that many high-named bounty hunters after you... Bane Millar being on the lower end, but like 3 out of 4 are very infamous bounty hunters.
Oh, and in addition, 2 Jedi Knights.
Yeah, Qui-Gon and Shaak Ti. And so...
Just a moment of, like... Phaedra is like, I'd fucking sign up to deal with this today, man.
Except she did. Because the plot twist is that Phaedra outmaneuvered everybody.
Yep.
Jedi and bounty hunters included.
Yeah. And she bought off Jango.
Yeah, she bought off Jango Fett. Yeah, Jango gets bought off. Jango's the only one who didn't get played because he was smart enough to take the money. Because basically the whole scheme was Phaedra goes, I didn't know it was Hutt money. Yes, I did.
I mean, I did, but like I'm not gonna fucking have it for enough to.
Also, I'm giving up the money and faking my death because the only reason I stole the money is so that way I could put it in to the casinos and go and not actually gamble that money, but make the casinos think I was going to gamble that money, but then win like 10 times that from the casinos, and then return the original money that I stole to the Jedi, because they won't kill me.
Yeah.
But have the bounty hunters think I faked my death.
Yes.
And then also pay off Django, not just so he won't kill me, but also because he needs to free me from jail, because while the Jedi won't kill me, they will let the official police arrest me.
Yep.
So
that is the plan.
Yeah, our favorite Marshal Buck Vancto from the once again a Mark Guggenheim character.
I saw the fucking Corlex Marshal. I was like, God damn it! You really picked it.
Well, that makes sense though, because like Phaedra ends up on Corlex prison anyways, as part of the Han Solo and Chewbacca comic. So like that makes sense. But yeah, Guggenheim bringing back Buck Vancto. Oh man. That was a fun issue.
Yeah, that was.
And I like that it turns out everybody just got played. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's good. Issue 5. One, it initially gives us more context to Yaddle's death.
Yep.
Thanks, comic. I needed a reminder of Count Dooku's brutal way of killing Yaddle. Thanks.
Whew.
Because it starts off with the flash forward, where we see a little bit more of a conversation that the two of them had. And I love it and hate it at the same time.
Yeah.
I love it because I do think the context is good. I just hate it because I'm like, I didn't want to see more of Yaddle's death. But no, it gives context to what it makes Dooku seem more apologetic about the situation.
Yeah.
But also, I don't like how much. I don't think we need to overly humanize Dooku's actions. Because Dooku is still, even if we try to humanize it, and you and I talked about this on the way here, Dooku, it goes back to the Markion conversation and the Kreia conversation. It's a character who has these ideals that conflict with each other. He has these ideals of, well, the Republic is corrupt, so I'm going to end the corruption by teaming up with the corruption.
Yep.
I'm teaming up with the Trade Federation and the Sith that is inside the Republic.
There won't be a problem if I become the problem, said Count Dooku.
It's like, so you left because you don't like corruption with the Republican Jedi, only to team up with the very thing that is corrupting the Republic and the Jedi.
There might be a slight flaw in your plan.
Yeah. And so that's my problem with, like, I think it's good writing at the same time. Like, it's just my problem, like, if I met these people in real life. And I also have problems with people in real life who agree with their ideals and take them for face value, like Kreia. Kreia is wrong. Her ideals are flawed. She is not correct. The whole point is that she's apathetic, yet she complains about you being apathetic throughout the game. It's like, no, you're the apathetic one. You're the one that's saying, well, if you help people, then they're just gonna get robbed. And it's like, so that means I shouldn't help people at all? Because that's literally the first lesson she teaches you when you go to Nar Shaddaa. She's like, you shouldn't help him because he's gonna get robbed. You gave him money, so now that means people have a reason to rob him. And then as far as, like, Markion, it's the whole, I want chaos yet and anarchy, but also I want to control it. Well, then you don't want anarchy. You want control. And even Gira kind of calls out the bullshit of that. She's like, controlled anarchy is not a thing.
Yep.
And then Dooku, back to the comic we're talking about. He kind of wants a similar... He wants control, but he also wants, like... He claims he wants control that's not... fascistic, I guess is the term I should use. Like, because he doesn't want that, but then he also is leaning into it a bit. Because, like, if you look at how... And we're going to jump ahead to the Clone Wars. We see, like, the separatist version of the Senate, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. It's literally the same thing, except Dooku gets to come in and go, actually override. Because even Palpatine can't do that. Not at this point in the Republic. Even Palpatine couldn't do that. Valorum definitely couldn't.
Yeah.
Which is who's in charge right now. Once again, Psy, Valorum, eye roll. Good guy, terrible Supreme Chancellor.
Yeah. Okay person, horrible politician.
And so, yeah, so we get Yaddle and Syrah. They go to be diplomats between the Trade Federation and this other company. That the Trade Federation basically sold them a bunch of ships with shipments, and the in return for stocks in this company.
We took them in escrow, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? Huh?
Yeah, because basically what happens is the company didn't pay all of the... They say they got none of them, but I think what probably happened is they didn't get all of them, of the stocks. And then the Trade Federation was like, well, we're going to hold one of the ships in escrow then. Which I think on a... Ignoring the plot twist of what's in the ship. It's spice. Ignoring the plot twist of what's in the ship, I actually think the Trade Federation is right in this situation. It's a weird situation, but I think they're right in that you didn't pay me everything. And so I'm not stealing the thing. I'm just not giving you it until you pay me.
They're like, I want my ship back. And they're like, then fucking pay me.
And so I think in a weird situation, the Trade Federation's actually right. But once again, that's ignoring like what the shipment actually is. That is in a... If they were all both legitimate companies.
And neither of them are.
Yeah. But if they were, the Trade Federation would be right in this situation. It would be, I feel like the easy solution is, hey, you need to give them the stocks you promised.
Yeah.
And then, hey, once they give you the stocks, you need to give them the ship. But instead, this company decides to hire Wookiee mercenaries to steal the spice from the spice shipment from the ship, which it happens to be at the exact same time Yaddle and Syrah were investigating the ship, because they were like, hey, we're not allowed to like one-on-one interrogate them, but legally, but we can break into their ship.
Yeah, Syrah's like, oh, okay, so like interrogating is wrong, but breaking and entering is fine.
And Yaddle's like, yeah, the law is weird like that.
Yeah.
Yaddle's like, I know this is wrong, but also we're not breaking the law. Which is honestly the most Yaddle and Yoda thing to ever do. I feel like it makes sense on a character level that, yeah, they would absolutely just find the loopholes. And Yaddle especially, more than Yoda, actually.
Yeah.
Yaddle has proven that she is more of a chaos agent than Yoda.
It's actually what gets her killed. It is explicitly the thing that gets her killed. She needs to know.
I hate to admit it, but yeah, you're right.
If she had just stayed her ass at home, she would be alive. But she couldn't do that because that's not who she is.
Well, it's in character.
Yeah, it is.
But also, don't victim blame my yaddle.
Yeah, one to blame now. She's dead.
Count Dooku and Palpatine.
Count Dooku did murder her.
Count Dooku and Palpatine.
Count
Dooku and Palpatine shouldn't have been having secret secret little meetings in their little warehouse in the bad part of Coruscant.
Why did you do something? Man, the Force is a funny thing with what it tells people to do and not to do.
Yeah, because speaking of, keeping in line with the Yaddle Chaos Agent and what the Force tells you to do, Dooku's here on the ship already before the Wookiees show up.
He's just kind of stalking around, I guess.
Yeah, it turns out he was... So we kind of know more information, but the information he presents is that a ally of the Trade Federation has hired him to help keep an eye on the package. Mm-hmm. Because they knew that the company would do some shifty stuff to try to get it back.
Which is
technically
true.
He is just leaving out who this ally to the Trade Federation is.
Mm-hmm.
A certain Sith Lord.
Yeah.
Which goes back to our conversation about the fact that Palpatine just loves to break the rule of two via loophole.
Yeah.
Because he's not really breaking the rule of two, because they're not Sith.
It's like...
But you're training them to become Sith.
It's like, God damn it. Why are you like this?
Because if we assume that the Legends version of events are similar enough to canon with Plagueis novel, we are breaking the rule of two on like multiple levels at this point in time in Star Wars. Because Plagueis is probably still alive right now, depending on what the canon version of Plagueis, how he dies. Well, really, when he dies. How he dies is the same, probably. Palpatine getting him drunk and then killing him. That's how he dies in the Plagueis novel. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of hinted that something similar. I mean, the way he tells the story of when he does you ever heard the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise? The story is very similar. So, at least in the Darth Plagueis novel, he's still alive during the events of Phantom Menace. And dies during actually near the end of Phantom Menace is when he dies. Which means Maul isn't even really a Sith proper when he died, until a few minutes before he dies.
No, just an assassin.
Because I think it's before the Battle of Naboo. It's been a minute since I've read it. If Chaco's still here, he could correct me. But I think it's before the Battle of Naboo when Palpatine kills him. So pretty late into the Phantom Menace. So that's one Sith Lord.
Yep.
And then Sidious is his apprentice. So that's two. So we have our rule of two. Mm-hmm. But then, if we go by what's going on with the Jedi Knight comic, as well as with the Dooku Jedi Lost, and the fact that we know Darth Maul is his apprentice at this point because of the Darth Maul comic, Darth Maul is under Sidious at this point, but also technically not because Plagueis is still here.
Yeah,
which means Maul can't be officially a Sith yet. And then on top of that, we've got Dooku over here, and it's and Maul is assuming Plagueis is around. Maul is Sidious's Sith assassin, his Asajj Ventress, if you will. But meanwhile, Dooku's also doing favors for Sidious.
Yeah, man. Once again,
because this whole thing is that he's trying to set up alliance between the Trade Federation and Sidious. Mm-hmm. which is a change from Legends continuity. Because in Legends, Maul is kind of a strong arm connector for the Trade Federation and Sidious. There's actually comics in Legends where Sidious is trying to set up connections with the Trade Federation, and Maul is more of the strong arm situation of like, hey, I'll let you use my Sith assassin if you become my friend. Mm-hmm. But here it seems they're trying to use Dooku on a more diplomatic level.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, since now that canon has kind of set the idea that Dooku, as soon as he left the Order, kind of made the connection to Sidious, that changes some things. And so it's very interesting. And so we get Dooku captured by the Wookiees. And so Yaddle, going back to the Force wants funny things. The Force is like, hey, you should save Count Dooku. And Yaddle's like, I guess it's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And Sarah's like, what? She's like, we gotta save Dooku.
She was like, are you sure he's
doing some sketchy things?
She's like, well,
this is what the Force wants.
Yeah.
And so, because this is all part of destiny. Yeah, your destiny to die, apparently. Ma'am.
Yeah.
And so they save him. Well, what's your opinion on it? Did he save himself or did they save him?
I feel like he probably could have saved himself.
I feel like it's a combo. It's a Knights of the Old Republic. Did you save Bastila or did Bastila save herself moment?
Mm-hmm. Because, like, I'm fairly certain that he could have taken him out. It wouldn't, and, like, freed himself. He was halfway through doing that business.
Now, how easily would he have escaped, though? Because he already got his ass beat once.
Mm-hmm.
And that was with them helping him the first time. But yeah, and so I think it's a little of A and B together.
Yeah.
Because Count Dooku...
I think that he could have, but not without taking a few bruises.
Yeah. And so... Yeah, so Yaddle and Sierra save him. I love how the publisher summary, because we're looking at the Wikipedia, so that way I can have names if I need them. The last end of it is, will Yaddle save the life of the man destined to kill her? Well, I assume so, because he's got to kill her.
He's got to kill her. It's not like we already know the answer to that question. But then again, like, depending on when it was published.
No, it's after. I mean, this is pretty recent. This is all, like...
okay.
This year.
Yeah, so I guess we've known the answer to that question...
For a bit now.
For a little bit, like a year or two.
3 years.
Well, remember, my sense of time is not that good.
I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure we're hitting 3. Oh my god, no.
50,000 credits. God damn.
Oh, there it is. Miniseries. No, not the comic miniseries. Oh my god. I'm never gonna find what I'm actually looking for. This is why I hate that they reused the name Tales of the Jedi so much.
Good luck, motherfucker.
God fucking damn it, Dave.
October 26, 2022.
Okay, so yeah, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was right. Okay, yeah. So we've known for 3 years.
It's not quite 3 years, but it's close enough to count.
Yeah.
But yeah, the answer to that question is yes, comic.
I like this one. This was a good one.
I don't care that much about what Dooku and, like, Yaddle are up to, but I do like getting to see the new Jedi.
Oh, yeah, Sierra and... Yeah. I like the New Jedi. I'm excited to move forward more and see what's going on with. Ooh, next time we get another New Jedi. No,
Nope, they're dead.
New Jedi already dead.
There's no spoiler to that because
it's in the publisher. It's in the publisher summary. Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe we'll find out more about that assassin.
Yeah, but that's once we talk about 6 through 10 when Volume 2 comes out.
Yep.
But that's it for Volume 1. I think that's a good start to the series. Once again, I'm a supporter of Mark Guggenheim. I like the Han Solo and Chewbacca comic more than other people, apparently. And I think Mark just keeps kind of proving himself as a comic book writer. Because he did that, and then he had a heavy hand in the D-Squad stuff, which was, his contribution to the Dark Droid stuff, which the D-Squad stuff was alright. They kind of just gave him something at that point.
I actually really like Dark Droids.
It's the weakest of the arcs. But yeah. It's the weakest of the four crossover events that we had. I'm so glad we're out of Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, Star Wars.
It was getting a little long in the tooth.
But yeah, I do like what we're seeing from Mark with Jedi Knights. I'm excited to see more. I give it a strong 8.
Okay, yeah. I agree.
I
also realized I was leaning off.
Yeah, you were starting to lean off a little
again.
bit. But that's it for this week. We finally made it through today. We talked about so much. It only took us almost 3 hours.
All right. It's been a while since we've had an almost 3-hour episode.
I don't think we've still beaten our War of the Bounty Hunters episode. I think War of the Bounty Hunters is still the longest. I think it went past 3.
Mm-hmm. Having said that, though.
Yes, thank you all for watching today's episode of Escape Reality Star Wars Talk. I've been your host, Caleb. Be sure to like, comment, follow, subscribe to us. You can find us at Escape Reality Films on YouTube, Twitch, Kick, TikTok, and Blue Sky. You can also show your support for us by joining our Patreon, which is at Escape Reality Films. Shout out to Jennifer Brantley.
Yo.
There you can watch our YouTube content before it's publicly available, which I'm going to have to do today because I'm behind a little bit. Also be sure to check out our Discord, which is also linked wherever you are watching, so you can become a part of our community. Speaking of our community, D&D stuff that our friends do.
Yes. Every other Sunday from 5 to 7 Central Standard Time over at the Steam Dungeon on YouTube, you can catch some friends of ours playing their D&D 5e game, Trials of Naboo. Woo! I don't know what's going on. You should still check them out, though.
And then shout out to our friend Pixie Nixie and Prozac Pulse, who were in the chat on Twitch. They are currently taking a little bit of a break this week because they are hanging out together because they don't get to do that often. Mm-hmm. But they do variety content for streaming. They also have a shared YouTube channel, the Goof Goblins. Mm-hmm. Which I do the video editing for, so you should go check it out so that way they can make money and I can make money. No. That's actually kind of serious, but also a joke. But yes, go check them out so that way they can get a little bit of a fan base and, Mm-hmm. And then on YouTube, we had Darth Chaco show up. Also a wonderful friend of ours. They do Star Wars content on TikTok and YouTube, and they co-host a podcast with another friend of ours, Element 7, the Dyad in the Force podcast, where they talk about Star Wars and whatever's going on in the current, zeitgeist of conversation. We don't really do that as much. We're kind of more of just what books and comics, and we like to be more review-based. They're more zeitgeist discussion, so if you ever want to, hear opinions of what's going on in the community, they're definitely people to watch. And they also lean away from that as well too. Even in the Dyad, they'll talk about Marvel stuff too sometimes. Yeah. They talk about anything really in the nerd space. So definitely go check them out. They're awesome. I think that is everything on the promotional end.
Mm-hmm.
So once again, and hopefully I have enough. Nope, I still have to wait for that second shout out on Twitch. But once again, thank you all for watching. Join us next week as we discuss the High Republic Adventures Phase 3 Volume 5 comic. Like I said, we still have, even though we hit the last major High Republic thing, there's still some comics that are going to be coming out to wrap everything up. So there's still a few more things High Republic related. We're not done talking High Republic. We're just done with the big stuff.
Yep.
And then the other comic we'll talk about next week will be the Hyperspace Stories, the Bad Batch Ghost Agents one, which I know Seth has been excited about. He's been excited to see our boys back.
Yeah.
So get ready for all of that. Thank you all for watching. I've spoken.
Y'all be safe out there.